Okay, let's just dive right into this. Ever get that feeling like you need to get a personality? Well, what if I told you it's not about totally reinventing yourself, but about taking one simple, ridiculously easy step? Let's get into it. Remember this? Think back. As a kid, your identity was crystal clear. You had your thing, right? Everyone knew you as the dinosaur kid, the Pokemon master, whatever it was. It was simple. And you know what? It was memorable. And then adulthood hits. That simple question, so what are your hobbies? Suddenly feels like a final exam on how interesting you are as a human being. If you find yourself fumbling for an answer beyond, uh, watching shows, trust me, you are not alone. Yeah, this feeling of being just average. It's a real and super frustrating crisis. It's that sense that you've somehow lost that unique spark you had as a kid, and now you're just kind of blending into the background. So what do? We turn to the internet for help, and what we find is almost universally useless. It's just a sea of vague, unhelpful platitudes that sound good, but do absolutely nothing for you. Let's just break down this nonsense for a second. Just be yourself is the ultimate non-advice. It's basically code for I have no idea, you figure it out. Eating blueberries, that's not a personality trait. And reading 100 books, it means nothing if you can't share a single interesting idea from them. It's so frustrating because none of this actually makes you more memorable. So let's talk about why this standard advice is so fundamentally flawed. It totally misses the entire point of what a personality actually is in the real world. Okay, this is the core idea right here. It's not about how many things you do, it's about how memorable you are. You could travel to 20 countries, but you can't communicate it in an interesting way. It doesn't stick. The goal isn't a longer checklist of hobbies, it's to be the person people actually remember. So how do we become memorable? Well, it's not by trying to become some kind of, perfect Renaissance person. Nope. It's by using a simple, really powerful technique called the one thing method. This is also known as the spike method. And yeah, it's a term college admissions officers actually use. The whole idea is to stop spreading yourself so thin. Don't be a 6 out of 10 in 10 different things. Be a 10 out of 10 in one specific, maybe even slightly weird thing. That's your spike. And the roadmap here, it's beautifully simple. First, pick something you're actually genuinely curious about. Then, spend 1 month, that's it, 1 month, learning just enough to be a little better at it than most people. Next, and this is key, learn how to talk about the coolest parts, and then use that as your hook in conversations. Okay, let's make this real. Say you pick bird watching. I know, most people think that sounds kind of boring, right? Wrong. In just 1 month, you can turn that into an absolutely magnetic conversation piece. Just imagine dropping this at a party. You instantly go from person who likes birds to the fascinating bird expert who knows about killer birds and chainsaw mimics. See the difference? You've created intrigue. You become memorable. But here's the thing. It's not enough to just pick a spike. You have to actually learn it in a way that your brain will remember it. And that means moving beyond just passively consuming information. So, the crucial point here is you don't need to become a world-renowned expert. Thanks to the 80-20 principle, just a little bit of focused learning gets you most of the way there. You can learn 80% of what's useful with just 20% of the total effort. It's all about efficiency. Here's the thing about your brain, it's incredibly efficient, which also means it's lazy. It's like a lazy roommate. It will immediately discard any information it doesn't think you're going to use. So reading a chapter and then closing the book is like telling your brain, hey, this was fun, but you can forget it now. To fight this, you have to signal to your brain that this stuff matters. Get active. Don't just watch a video, practice the skill. Visualize it in detail. I'm serious. Top athletes know that mental reps are real reps. My personal favorite? Try to explain it to someone. If you can explain it simply, you truly know it. Okay, so you've picked your spike, and you've learned the basics. Now for the final, and maybe the most important step, sharing it in a way that makes people lean in, not back away slowly. We've all met this person. The actually expert. They use their knowledge like a weapon to prove how smart they are, which instantly makes them unlikable and just kills the conversation. This is the biggest trap you can fall into. Now contrast that with the humble expert. They do the complete opposite. They agree first. It is crazy, right? And then they share their knowledge like it's a cool discovery. It's collaborative. You're sharing something new without making them feel dumb. This is how you sound smart while still being someone people want to talk to. This is all about the power of framing. Instead of saying you write music about feelings, you say, I turned my worst breakup into my biggest hit. You're not just stating a skill, you're telling a story. You're turning a hobby into a superpower. The psychological effect of this is huge. When you have a spike, you give people an easy way to categorize and remember you. You become the bird person or the Rubik's Cube person. You've created a mental shortcut to being interesting. And this isn't just some little social hack. This is what makes you stand out in life. Whether it's at a networking event, in the job interview, or on an application, having a memorable spike makes you the person they remember long after the conversation is over. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the most interesting version of yourself by amplifying one thing you're already curious about. So pick your spike, spend a month on it, and watch what happens. The only question left is, what will yours be? So, what do truly smart people actually look like? Well, it's not about knowing everything. In fact, a lot of the time, it's the total opposite. They're open minded, they can adapt, and they are deeply aware of what they don't know. Sometimes the most intelligent thing you can say is simply, I don't know. Want a simple hack you can use today to instantly seem more thoughtful and intelligent? Just slow down when you talk. Rushing your words can signal that you're nervous, but speaking at a deliberate pace, that signals confidence and gives your brain that extra half second to find the perfect word. And that ability to slow down, to be deliberate and confident in a conversation, it all comes from having a deep well of knowledge to pull from. So if you're serious about building that foundation as fast as possible, we have to talk about the honest hack. The answer is textbooks. Look, they're not always fun, they can be dense, they can be challenging, but there is absolutely zero fluff. It is the most direct path to the kind of deep understanding that fuels real confidence. And that really is the main takeaway here. Being smart isn't some fixed trait you're born with. It's not a destination you arrive at. It is an active, ongoing process of learning, applying, and engaging with the world. It is something you do. Which brings us to the final question. You're already ahead of the game just by watching this, so what's one thing you can learn and, more importantly, apply today to get this process started? Your future self is going to thank you for it. I do want to take the time to say thank you very much for watching. If you genuinely enjoyed this video, then don't be shy to hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell to make sure all your notifications are turned. So, now finally I'm collecting donations in the form of subscribes to fund the next video.